Okay, what is up? So today I wanted to do a story time because like there is stuff I've been through that I only thought I went through. I've never met someone else like face to face, but I've actually had friends that have been through the same stuff as me with sleep paralysis. So today I just like wanted to share my experiences, and don't be one of those, if you're one of those people that's gonna like knock my beliefs and just like have all this negative shit to say, like just leave, like don't even watch this video because I don't want to hear it. Honestly, I don't care what you have to say, like it's my personal stories. I really don't care what you think. So yeah, let me try not to touch my hair this whole video. Alright, when I was younger, I'm gonna start this from the very beginning. When I was younger, I used to live in Fort Worth, Texas, and it was like when I was like 3, and don't ask me how I remember this, but I remember it. So when I was 3, it was me, my grandma, my tia, and we lived in this one house. It was like a really old house, and I remember my grandma was talking to my tia, and my grandma had said like they were just talking, and I remember her getting up and grabbing the Bible, and she told my tia to stay in the living room or something like that. I was young, so I really don't remember everything. But she had picked up the Bible and she went to the bathroom, and I remember I heard all this yelling going on, and then after a while I started hearing like I started like smelling some burning going on. And I grew up in the church and stuff like that, so I do believe in God. But okay, I'm not even gonna get into that. I grew up in the church, that's all I can say. So I do believe in God. I do believe in demons and stuff like that. But yeah, and I remember it started smelling like smoke. So that was, I guess, like my first encounter, I guess, with paranormal shit. So later down the line is when my like sleep paralysis started happening, which which as like growing up, like I said, believing in God and around the church, we don't call that sleep paralysis. We just call that spiritual attacks. And basically, how I got it explained to me is like as you're getting closer to God, that's when the devil comes in and tries to like, I guess, not have you close to him. So yeah, and like I said, I grew up in the church a lot, and me and my aunt lived at this one house, and it was a 2-story, and my room was in the very back of the house. And so I remember one time when I was sleeping in my room, I felt some like force get on top of me, and I tried move. This was the first time it ever happened, so I didn't know what to do. I didn't know what was happening, and I felt this force come on top of me, and I couldn't move my hands, blink, open my mouth, couldn't do anything. All I could do was think. And so that had went on for an hour, and then whenever like the morning finally came, I had told my aunt like, hey, this happened. And she said that's a spiritual attack. And then like my grandma prayed for me and all that stuff. And then after that, I was scared as fuck. I was scared. And that's whenever I started like sleeping with I started sleeping in my aunt's room. And I had switched rooms so I could be closer to her. She used to sometimes sleep with me because I was scared to go to sleep in that house. And so one night when she was asleep, I heard this like loud ass bang on the door, and I got scared as fuck. I was maybe like 11, so yeah, I was scared as hell. Which if that happened now, I'm about to be 19, and I'd probably still be scared as hell. But I know what to do if that was to happen, you know? I woke her up because she didn't hear anything, which I'm surprised she didn't hear anything because I was super loud. And so I woke her up, and she went to go check, and there was nothing there. And like I can feel when something's looking at me. So like I closed the door because I felt like there was something in there. And so I closed the door, and to this day she still does not believe that there was a loud bang. But there was a fucking bang on the door. I don't give a fuck what you say. We moved out the house eventually. Not because of that, but for other reasons we moved. And yeah, that was in that house. Those were my experiences in that house. What's it called? Later down the line, I used to go to my tia's house, and a lot of shit has happened in my tia's old house. we had found out that a Ouija board was played with in that house. And there's other stuff, but I'm not going to speak on it because I don't want to put the business out. But yeah, basically a Ouija board was played in that house, and there was an evil spirit in there. And it used to hide in the closet. And I know that because my little cousin, he would always say there's something in the closet. And my grandma is really religious. She always has her Bible. She's always going to church. And so she's been through a lot of stuff personally, like paranormal shit, I guess. She's been through a lot of stuff. So she can sense stuff. And she sees stuff too. And so she's even said, like, there is something in here, like, and it's not good at all. Which obviously it wasn't good because some stuff happened to me in that house. I remember one night I slept in the living room, and it was really dark. So here's the living room, right? Here's the living room, and then here's the hallway, and then here's the like dining area. And so I'm sleeping in the living room right here, and I don't want people to think I'm crazy for this. Okay, so I had a spiritual attack, and it was on top of me. And what I mean by the word it is, I guess what you can say, a demon, evil spirit, whatever you want to call it. I couldn't move. And I remember, I don't want to say this, but my spirit came out of my body, and I was trying to crawl to my tia's room. And like I said, the hallway is right here, and I would sleep right here in the living room. And so in the middle of me crawling, I look in the dining area where the table was, and I see a black figure looking at me. And I remember feeling like my body was so freaking heavy. Like, it was so hard to breathe, and I was having a hard time crawling. But like I said, that was my spirit crawling, not my actual body. And that was a scary ass experience that I went through. But and so ever since then, I never slept in that living room again. I slept in my cousin's room from then on. I never slept there by myself. And whenever you walk in that house, like, you sort of felt something like scary, like an eerie feeling. Like, it just felt dark in that house, no matter how much light you brought in there. There was this one time, I'm not even gonna talk about that, never mind. There's this one time that my tia had a birthday party for my little cousin at that house, and her friend had saw something there too. And she said it was like a black figure, and it was like on the it was on the wall, basically. That's all I can say. It was on the wall, because I don't know what it's called, but it was on the wall. And she didn't tell my tia until maybe like a month later. I don't really remember the exact time, but she didn't tell her that day. She told her later on. And my tia was like, you should have told me that day, and so that my grandma could like bless the house and all that stuff. My cousin, she used to tell me that she would see stuff in the house too, and that it was like a little girl. She would see a little girl. My other cousin, the boy, he would see a little boy, which I don't know how they saw different things. That house was old. It was built in like 1800s. It was old. And yeah, that shit was scary. I didn't like being there by myself. And even whenever at night, whenever we would be, say my tia's leaving the house, she'll tell me, oh, I forgot this in the house, can you go get it? I'm like, no, I'm not going in there by myself. Like, heck no. And it knows I'm scared too. Like, I'm not going in there by myself. So that was my experience with that house. And the worst experience I ever had was when I was at a close friend's house. I'm not going to say her name or anything, but I was at her house, and her dad is a pastor. I remember laying in the room. I was asleep, and I felt something jump on top of me. Oh my gosh, I'm getting chills. I had felt something jump on top of me. Not jump on top of me, but lay on me. And I was laying on my face, like on my, like that, you know, like I'm dead. And I couldn't move. And it started whispering in my ear in a different language. And it was playing with my hair. And touching me like in spots. It was touching me certain ways that I should not have been touched. And whenever I had told my tia that I was having these problems and stuff, she would just tell me like, pray in your head, or just say God in your head. And so I had learned that. And yeah, so it was just whispering in my ear, playing with my hair, touching me. And so I just started like saying, you know, God in my head. I wasn't really praying, I was just saying God. And yeah, it disappeared. It left eventually. And that was like the worst experience I ever had. I've had multiple encounters of sleep paralysis, but those were like the 3 main ones that like scared the shit out of me. Yeah, those were like my experiences with sleep paralysis, aka a spiritual attack, whatever you want to call it. But like I said earlier in this video, like, just if you like have something negative to say about like not believing me, I don't care if you believe me or not. Like, these are my experiences, and I just felt, because I have a friend who's went through this also, and she also felt like she was the only one that went through this until me and her talked. And yeah, we kind of went through the same stuff growing up. And so I just wanted to tell my story on it. And yeah, that was my experience with sleep paralysis. So I hope you enjoyed this video. Like I said, if you have something negative to say, just don't say it at all. And if you want to say it, I don't care. I'm still living. But here's the end of this video. Hope you enjoyed it. And yeah, I'll see you next time. Oh, like, comment, and subscribe. You know the drill. And follow my social media. Links below. Bye, I love you.